set, go!
Another high school football season is upon us. Capable coaches.
That's a great job up front. Nice job. Way to go.
And big, strong, talented athletes. All with the same goal.
Our goal is the same. We want to get to Lincoln.
There's so much success here that all we're happy with is the state championship.
This is the Scheel's Thursday Night Lights preseason kickoff show, and it starts right here and right now on CW15. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another season of live high school football right here on CW15. Over the next 30 minutes, we'll visit 9 of the camps of the 16 teams that will be part of our 9-game live broadcast schedule this season. It's a schedule that includes a season opening matchup between the two-time defending Class A champions from Omaha North and an always game Wildcat squad from Millard West. Week 2, a big-time battle at Westside as the Warriors begin what they hope will be a state title run by hosting Creighton Prep's Junior Jays. Week 3 finds Fred Petito's Mustangs making the first of 2 Thursday Night Light appearances hosting Lincoln High. Week 4, we travel to Omaha Central, where the Eagles and Bulldogs of Burke will battle it out. Papillion La Vista South hosts Lincoln Southwest in Week 5. Then the T&L Crude is in Bennington for Week 6 as the Badgers host the Vikings of Waverly in the first of 2 Class B tilts on our broadcast schedule. Remember the Titans from Week 5? Well, they return to the broadcast schedule as they pay a visit to the new-look Northwest Huskies as they have former Husker Hall of Famer and ex-Green Bay Packer Steve Warren at the helm now. It's always a good one when Gross and Ralston get together. Our Week 8 stop should be another good one as the Rams and Cougars will battle in a game that very well could have major playoff implications. And finally, it's back to the Class A ranks where Millard North travels to Papillion to have it out with the Monarchs in our 9th and final game of the 2015 season. As always, I'll be joined by my broadcast partner, Todd Doxzon, the former Millard North standout, the ex-Iowa Stater, and a veteran of the NFL, XFL, and Arena Football League. So thanks for coming back for another one. And we will, all season long, be getting pregame and halftime analysis from our man, Stu Pospisil from NEPrepZone.com and the Omaha World Herald. Gentlemen, Season 5. Just, Todd, your initial thoughts after we took a look at that schedule there. Just your thoughts on some of those games that we have coming up.
Well, Millard North, of course, I mean, I have to talk about them. They're my guys, you know. And I've been actually on the practice field with them, and they're amazing. And so obviously they're going to be the team to beat, in my opinion. Again, in my humble opinion, a little bit of bias in there. But really, all throughout this season is going to be phenomenal matchups. You were talking about the Class B one. You're saying that the Gross matchup.
Gross and Ralston.
I love watching those games.
Came down to the wire last year, and
love
it was a great finish. Stu, just your thoughts on what you've seen from our schedule.
Well, I think we've got some very good traditional rivalries. I mean, you've got Prep and Central and Gross and Ralston, and then the Burke and Central game. I mean, those are 3 really good, hard-nosed matchups, and there's a lot of pride at stake in all 3 of those games.
Just heading into the season, Stu, we're not able to release your top 10 or your Super 6 selections as of yet, but they will be out in this Sunday's World Herald, correct?
Yes, our high school football section appears on Sunday, guys, and looking forward to seeing the reaction to that. I think you've got some very good teams poised to make title runs this year. You mentioned Millard North. I like them a lot, but you've got Millard West that we're going to see right off the bat. North, if it can find a quarterback, it's got a lot of tools to work with, and they're not going to be 13-0 this year, but they could very well be a 7, 8, 9 win team, you know, counting the playoffs, or they could lose 3 or 4 as well because of the strength of their schedule. They play a lot of potentially ranked teams those first 6 weeks, and you're dealing with kind of a new offensive backfield, and it takes time, as you know, to get chemistry worked out.
But they've been there, and the experience and the confidence going into the season, they know how to win games. And so that's really going to be crucial for them entering the season.
And then you've got teams Prep and Westside you figure are going to be in the thick of things, and Central with Jordan Flowers. They're going to have to find a new running back there, but they've got some good linemen coming back, even though they lost Deshaun Neal. I think they've got the makings of good lines on both sides of the ball. You take a look at other teams out west, Grand Island, Lincoln Southeast, Lincoln Southwest. I like that matchup with Millard North because, or with Papio South, excuse me, because you're going to have Nick Lenners, the Kansas State recruit, on display that night, and Papio South is one of the teams we're profiling in our section. Some very good talent coming back there. Actually, the need there is to rebuild their lines.
Right. Well, we will take a look at some of those teams when we come back here on the Scheel's Thursday Night Lights preseason kickoff show. We'll visit the camps of Omaha Central, Omaha Gross, and Todd Doxzon's Millard North Mustangs. Stick with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Scheel's Thursday Night Lights preseason kickoff show. It's time now to begin our team previews. Omaha Central's top player last year was Deshaun Neal, the 6'7" All-Nebraska defensive end, had 51 tackles and 11.5 sacks for J-Ball's squad as a senior. Now he's playing for Mike Riley down at the University of Nebraska. But his alma mater of Omaha Central is out to prove that the Eagles are still indeed able to soar in 2015.
Obviously, we want to be competitive in every game we play. We want to be competitive in practice. I think we have some really good kids. They've worked extremely hard in the offseason, especially the guys up front. They haven't missed too many days. So we're excited about that. Every year is a new year, and I always tell the seniors it's your team. So we got a new group of seniors, and they're supposed to take over and take control. So that's exciting.
We lost a lot of players, but we should be ready to roll. We got a lot of young players that are ready to step up.
We had really high expectations last year, to be honest with you. We thought we had a shot to get down to Lincoln. Had some things happen to us in the off season that didn't help that out, but we rallied. And I mean, we got beat by 3 points by Prep that was in the state finals, and we felt like we had every chance to win that game. So this is Central High. We have high expectations all the time. Our goal is the same. We want to get to Lincoln.
This is the young man who Coach Ball and the Eagles will be relying heavily on to get them to Lincoln, and that's junior quarterback Jordan Flowers, the son of ex-Central great and former Husker Leotis Flowers. Threw for 1,256 yards and 13 touchdowns as a sophomore for an offense that averaged 358 yards per game. Well, a 5-5 record that included a first-round playoff loss to McCook was not exactly what the Gross High football team had hoped for or expected in 2014. But the good thing is, it's now 2015, and head coach Tim Yonk is way excited about being able to unleash his Cougars.
It's always great to get started, I mean, the anticipation both by coaches and players, the anticipation of the season is always fun, and they kind of get ramped up, and so it's it's a lot of fun getting started. It's a lot of fun seeing kids progress and get better every single day, and that's really why we do this, is to kind of come out here and teach kids some life lessons, but watch them get better and progress in this game of football, and which I think is the greatest game ever made, So, but they're doing a great job.
Good. There it is. That's a great job up front. Nice job. Way to go.
Just as a team, I want to compete with everyone. I mean, of course, I'm going out there expecting to win, but as long as we're competing, giving 110%, I'll be happy. So, the team has a lot of good energy, and we're all a lot close as a team, and that's really important, I think. I mean, we're all brothers out here. We're all fighting towards the same cause. We're all working hard every day.
Team on three. 1, 2, 3. Team!
Now, as we mentioned at the top of the show with Stu Pospisil, the official class rankings are not out until Sunday, but when they do come out, expect the Millard North Mustangs to be near or at the top. But if you're a Mustang, the only real acceptable thing is to be at the top.
There's so much success here that all we're happy with is a state championship. So 10-1 last year wasn't something to be proud of, and we're letting that sit in our minds, letting it fester. We're ready to come out and smack some kids around. I'm not saying we're going to be the #1 team for sure, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens. We'll do fine.
Since day one, coaches have engraved in our heads. We have our saying right now is drive for 5, that 5th state championship, and play for the 13th game. So it's been ingrained in us over and over. So that's what we have in our mind. That's what we're going to do.
Over, we're solid, what's next? Hands, go!
Our offense is really good. We got a bunch of returning O-linemen that I'm really comfortable operating behind, and I got Big Jake behind me on offense that's ready to run, and Adrian with speed. But
I'm not worried about defense. Coach Chavez has done this a long time, and we have a lot of dudes that want to fly around and hit people.
Well, that's a look at Fred Petito's Millard North Mustangs. And Dox, again, you said you've been out there a little bit. I know that you work with some of those athletes. Real quick, what do you like best about your alma mater?
Everything. No, Ethan and Jake, man, I just watched them offensively. And for the first practice of this season, their offensive tempo, Coach Ty, Coach Fred, I mean, the rest of the guys, it's a phenomenal bunch. And just the high energy and the expectations this year is out of this world. High expectations, I know you can't officially say, but they've got to be right there towards the top.
I like them a lot, okay? You know, the thing that they have this year, they've got the speed element with Adrian Kellogg, and I kind of think back to when Fred Petito's crew had Devin Bass back there. Oh, yeah. When you can pound away, when you've got the option game with Ethan Morrison, the pounding ability of Jake Matthew, and then you turn this guy loose, Adrian Kellogg, who's the son of a 1,000-yarder from Omaha Bryan, and turn him loose on the flanks. How do defenses stop that, Doc?
They really can't.
All right, that's their thoughts on Millard North. We'll be back to take a look at 4 more camps. This is the Scheel's Thursday Night Lights preseason kickoff show. You're watching it right here on CW15. And welcome back to the Scheel's Thursday Night Lights preseason kickoff show as we continue to go camping. Well, when Husker Hall of Famer and NFL veteran Steve Warren took over the Omaha Northwest football program just about 3 months ago, there were some pretty hefty numbers that he had to take a look at. 10 wins and 89 losses in the last 10 seasons, 2 wins and 45 losses in the last 5 seasons. Well, the numbers, as they say, don't lie, but Steve Warren and his staff think that there is something special there at Northwest, and here are his thoughts on taking over in Husky Nation.
It's been exciting because, you know, they're hopeful. And the thing I like about it the most is that, like we've talked about already, is nobody expects anything out of them. So, you know, they got a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, and I do too. And we got talented kids, and so it's going to be exciting. I think we're going to do some things that are going to shock some people. We're going to be competitive, that's for sure. But we're going to do a lot of good things this year, and we're confident of it. So you know the guys that are on my staff. It's made up of guys that have won national championships and Super Bowl champions. So for us, it's all or bust.
You're reading the quarterback's eyes, okay? As soon as his hand goes up to throw, then you break.
We want to win every game. We expect to win every game. We're going to come in expecting to win every game. And, you know, the good thing about these guys, they're expecting to win now, too.
I'm excited for this season because I want to prove everybody wrong that Northwest can win. And I think that we have a team that can win. We have a really talented team. I think that'd be big for me to be a part of the group that changes the name of Northwest.
Meanwhile, over at Ralston, the Rams are ready to roll in 2015, and they'll be looking to a sophomore quarterback to run the show.
I just come out here, work my hardest every day, and hopefully eventually they'll follow. The offensive coordinator, he definitely has trust in me, and our head coach has much trust in me because they put me in a couple games last year, let me run a little, let me throw a little last year, and I feel like that's really prepared me for this season. This year, I feel like we have a really good team. We have a lot of talent. We just need to definitely come together as one, and when we do that, I feel like we can be a real threat in Class B.
I like everyone's work ethic, and everyone wants to be good. Everyone pushes each other in practice, so the competition practice helps us better each other.
In his first season at the helm of the Viking ship in Waverly, Tim Williams saw his team drop their first 4 games before working their way back to a playoff berth. Unfortunately for them, the 16 seed had to play top-seeded Omaha Scut, and it just wasn't Waverly's night against the Skyhawks. This year in 2015, head coach Tim Williams was so excited about getting things started that they decided to get it going right at midnight on the very first day that his team was allowed to practice.
Tonight, it hits midnight. We're in waiting. We're starting before everyone else. We're going to start and we're going to get after it right away. It's late, it's different, it doesn't change our attitudes. We get after it, we do the best we possibly can, and we bring our talents. And we win the moment tonight. 10 seconds!
The whole concept of beating everybody else to the punch. And this is an opportunity for us to beat everybody to the punch. We're going to get started while they're still sleeping. We're going to go ahead and get started because we can, and that's what we want to do. So
it's an experience, that's for sure. And Coach Williams has really got us pumped up, and I think we're all just ready to get this season rolling. So honestly, he could have scheduled it at whatever time, and we would have been ready to play. Like, we're ready to strap it on and get at it this year.
It's the first time we've ever done this. I'm excited. When I first saw the lights, it made my heart beat, and I think it's going to be a good season. We got a lot of seniors this year, so I think we haven't had this many seniors for a long time.
We're a very close team, and we believe in each other. We push each other to make each other the best that we can possibly be, and all of us are very close. That's why when we break the huddle, we say family on 3 for a reason, because we're very close. We're all brothers. So.
Now we start here, boys. We finish at Memorial Stadium. Let's go. Family on 3. 1, 2, 3. Family!
Well, in 2013, the Westside football team was in the Class A championship game, but came up 2 points short against Omaha North in that championship tilt. In 2014, the Warriors went 5-5, which was definitely not what the Warriors had hoped or expected. 2015, head coach Brett Freund is excited about what he is going to put on the field.
Mitchell Hagan at quarterback is a second-year returner, which is nice to have, and he's got a lot of experience and a lot of talent, so we expect him to be a good leader. Jack Conley on defense is, I believe, one of the best players in the state at the defensive linebacker spot, and he's provided a lot of leadership, so he's expecting a big year, and that's what we need out of him.
I mean, we got a lot of returners coming back. We just have a one game at a time mentality, and we're just a hard-working team, and I think we have pretty good focus out here at practice, and we're trying to go for a state title this year. Alpha! Set! Hut!
I like the senior leadership, actually. I think the senior leadership's better. I think this whole summer we've been stepping up. I like everyone's been working hard, and I think we should be ready to go this first week.
We built a lot of confidence over the summer, and with the experience, I think that confidence should be there. But you can see it in their eyes. You can see they're hungry for a great season, but they also know they have to work for it. So they put in good work and continues through camp.
We will see the Warriors against Creighton Prep during week 2 of our broadcast schedule. When we come back, we'll preview our season opener, which will take place a week from tonight over at Buell Stadium. Stay with us. This is the Scheel's Thursday Night Lights preseason kickoff show. Well, 1 week from tonight, we will kick off our 5th season of the Scheel's Thursday Night Lights, and we're going to do it with the 2-time defending state champions from Omaha North as they travel to Millard West. Should be a good one. Here's Bill Steckis with a preview of our season opener.
Running backs, I'm going to squeeze you guys into that corner over there.
It's a battle of playoff teams, both thirsty for more success. Omaha North has had plenty. 3 straight state championship games and 2 straight state titles.
My hope is that our fans are patient with this group of kids. You know, we're replacing a lot of starters. And, you know, a lot of kids that haven't played on, you know, game nights, on varsity game nights. And so it's going to be a work in progress, but it's exciting.
An exciting balancing act of some seniors who played a little last year and the rest who have been around the success but not on the field down after down.
You know, good group of kids. Great coaching staff, and really looking forward to molding this group into a team that our community and our school can be very proud of.
19 miles southwest of that campus is this one, Millard West. A little different story here, 27 returning seniors that could be the key to overcoming the inexperience over at North.
We've got some kids that have played some games for us out, you know, on the perimeter, and having a quarterback back is always nice. I was thinking about that the other day. It's been a few years since we've had a guy with a lot of experience from under center. I mean, we've had some players there, but not as the quarterback, and it's a big difference. So that's a little comforting for us in that regard. But we've got a few kids that have played a lot of games for us, though. But you know what? You tee it up and play and see where you're at.
So it's the experience coming off a season that got the Wildcats to the 2nd round of the playoffs last year, and the inexperienced team that has watched and learned over the past 2 years. Which one will have the recipe for success? Well, that's all up for grabs tonight.
Bill, thanks a lot for that preview. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, we'll wrap up the Scheel's Thursday Night Lights Preseason Kickoff Show. Welcome back for the final segment of the Scheel's Thursday Night Lights Preseason Kickoff Show. So guys, the 5th season, 1 week away from officially kicking off. Can't believe it's been 5 seasons already, but if somebody would have told you 3 or 4 years ago that we'd have Omaha North and they'd be the 2-time defending state champs, Stu, is that something that would have shocked you at the time before you really knew who, you know, Calvin Strong was and what Larry Martin and them were able to do over at Omaha North? It's been a great story, and I don't think the chapters are done yet. I don't necessarily see a title in their future this year, but I think they're going to be very formidable. And I think that the pieces are there to continue excellence there just beyond this year as well. Well, there's another team that's going to have something to say about how they start off their potential run at a three-peat, and that's Millard West. Kirk Peterson always has his team ready to go. They're a team that at times can be up and down. What do you expect from the 2015 Wildcats? Well, I expect that they're going to have a veteran quarterback in Logan Andrzejewska. Injured part of the time last year. That Millard West won 7 games, and the night we saw them against Norfolk, when Norfolk played very well and won 28-7, there were at least a dozen kids in street clothes that night for Millard West, and there was still kind of a game for about 3 quarters. But you know, I think that the Wildcats last year with North, it was 13-13 with about 30 seconds left. So I see Millard West coming out of the chute pretty strong. I think North takes a couple weeks to kind of get going, especially with the changes and the new personnel they have. You know, I'm going to be favoring Millard West. All right, gentlemen, that's it. This half hour is over, but guess what? We have 9 games to talk about football all season long, and it all starts a week from tonight. Our pregame show, 6:30 right here on CW15, followed by kickoff as we kick off the 5th season of the Scheel's Thursday Night Lights. For Todd Doxzon, for Stu Pospisil, I'm Matt Kelly. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you hopefully next Thursday. Again, pregame show at 6:30, kickoff at 7 o'clock. We invite you to join us all season long, live high school football right here on CW15. Thanks for joining us. Good night.